Parents, did you know your parenting style can massively impact the way your child turns out to be? Research shows that parents generally follow one among four main styles of parenting. And these styles are based upon how much freedom and expression is given to the child. But which among these styles is best for your child's healthy development? In this video, parenting expert Vidya Raghu walks you through the pros and cons of each of these styles to help you decide. Are you ready? Let's get started.
So most often we are always asked, are you a parent? Do you have a child? We don't get asked what type of parent you are. Yes, so all of us are parents and we all have children, but just because we have children doesn't make us, great parents. What we can understand here is the way we bring up children is parenting, and the way we bring up every time, the way we do things differ, and each person has a parenting style. And in the behavioral science, we say that there are four different categories of parents. So which means that four different styles of parenting, of bringing up children. And why is that important for us to know? So most of the times when, it's one of the world's most difficult jobs. Today, even if you buy a small phone or a small gadget also, you get a user manual which says how to use. But when a child is born, we don't have a parenting manual and we don't know what is the way to do and how to do. And then we end up doing what we think we can do. In the process, it has been shown in science that, the way that a parent adopts their parenting style or the kind of parenting style that is practiced at home leads to the quality of life or, development of child in a certain way. So for example, if a parenting style is authoritative, children end up being highly confident, they end up being very self-reliant. But on the other end, if it's a non-indulgent parenting, we'll be going into details of that. If it's a non-indulgent type of parenting, then children develop themselves into a very low self-esteem person. So the kind of parenting is not about managing today on saying just getting over with the day and saying, yes, I'm a good parent, but to understand and design our parenting to look at saying, what would we like to as a family adopt a parenting style which can help in a healthy development of my child, and that would ultimately lead to a better, society, a healthy environment. So in that context, let's go into understanding the different parenting styles. So there are four different parenting styles. So some say three. We will put down all the four. It's AAPI. So when we say AAP, immediately what comes to your mind is, app. So here there are two different A's, and the two are slightly confusing. So without going into too much of the technical element, we'll try to more understand it from the parent's view. The first one is called authoritative, while the second word is called authoritarian. Authoritative and authoritarian is kind of, very, very confusing. But authoritative means a parenting style when the expectations are high. When the parent puts around a structure, please remind yourself, it's the structure which is in place, a system which is in place, a family environment, a culture which is built into the place, which is driven by saying this is how you're supposed to bring out the output. But the way that the child will do is left to the child with support and encouragement. So the moment there is a high expectation and the child is expected to deliver and supported to do the activities, and he comes back with finishing the work that is given to them or whatever they're doing right now, there is also enough of encouragement. So the expectations are set, there is also support given, and when they come back with the work done in whatever shape, there's a lot of encouragement and reinforcement given. In such cases, the child grows up to be a very self-confident child, a very resourceful child, somebody who knows that they can accomplish things, who takes on life, straight on the face, and really deals with things in a very formulated method and ends up being a very good disciplined person. The second one, authoritarian. The authoritarian way is one in which there's a lot of expectation, but there is a lot of force on that. You do not have a structure in which it has to happen. It is a one-to-one saying, I am saying so you have to do. So it's a fear-driven structure where the person lands as authoritarian and the other person is supposed to follow it. So the child ends up always looking for instruction. It's as I said, force driven, and they end up with low self esteem. Now here the major difference is, here also there is a high expectation, but there is a force involved. Support structure is not given, the child is not shown how to do, the child is not encouraged to do, the child is only asked to do. So obviously there's a lot of screaming, there's a lot of voice modulation, there could be even a little bit of whipping the children, or all that which comes part of this, where the child actually feels at the mercy of the parent. Now this kind of a style is, according to, there's no right and wrong in parenting, but according to the parent, they are trying to discipline the child without giving the responsibility of discipline to the child. They are actually trying to do it for them. In this case, the low self-esteem and waiting for instructions, they also end up being someone who opens up rarely, or kind of really finds it hard to go through relationships. While the third one is the permissive one, or the indulgent one. This third one is slightly tricky, because I think currently the most of the parents are in this situation, where either we've had a very disciplined parenting background in our childhood, and most of us have today become very very free about it, and we just about making sure the child is only happy and pampered and not crying. We've had a lot of parents where we've seen when the child starts crying, and immediately you don't want to do anything except make sure the child is smiling again. So yes, it's very hard as parents to enforce rules, create structures, and consistently follow them. No child wants to sit in one place, and no child wants to do their homework, but it's about building the habit and setting an expectation of saying you can do more. But in permissive parenting, you go with the flow of the child, and you say, oh, you don't want to do the homework, it's okay, we'll do it tomorrow. Oh, you don't want to do this, it's okay. So there is no experience of being in discipline for the child, which is not bad, but the impact of it is also that the child, as they grow up, do not like to be in any structure. They are not self-driven. It's also that there is it's a very loose way of handling things, where anything is okay and anytime okay kind of thing. Self-esteem is also fluctuating. They are very much vulnerable, and as parents sometimes it might be difficult, because after a certain age group, if the structures are not placed, there is no focus on discipline and consistency. After a certain age, when children know how to speak and they become independent, it's very difficult to then expect them to fall into structure, and that is where we're seeing a lot of teenage conflicts and all of that coming up. And the last one is the completely non-indulgent mode. The non-indulgent mode is where the parent is got no approach to parenting at all. There is no discussion, especially in parenting. The challenge is, it's not just those one individual or two individual. There are a lot of people in and around the child who are involved in the child rearing process. But as the two parents, also as the spouse, there is no conversation around what is the parenting style adopted, because of which each one is on their own, and the child adapts to each one's own style of parenting. Now in this process of non-indulgent, there is no design from the parent on saying, okay, this is how our family functions, or this is how this is the expectation from you, or homework needs to be done, or for example you need to go to school, or you need to pursue sports. None of that is set, and the child at times also feels that maybe the parent is not even interested in me. And if we speak to the parent says no, they'll manage on their own. So but we have to understand, as young children, they're in the molding process. What we give them as experience, what we give them as conversations on saying what is important in life, what is expected in life, and all those kind of things which are given to them in the early age is what shapes them. They are not going to just pick it up from just somewhere and become something. Obviously, if we are not giving input, they are anyhow getting a lot of input. So then the output would also be completely different. It may startle people. So the non-indulgent one is not about not putting pressure, but it is about letting the child know that you're involved in the child's development. where the child feels that yes, my parent is concerned about what I'm doing. So the moment you have a conversation about the homework, or you're expecting them to say that you have the potential, let's see how you can do it, it kind of builds a self-esteem for a child to say that yes, my parent is also involved. Okay, I'm not performing now, but my results are important to my parents. But compared to a parent not even asking about, saying what is happening in school, or what are you struggling with, or what are you studying, no conversation. Even it could be as simple as what's up with friends or anything. So non-indulgent is one of the most I would say riskier parenting styles, where neither the parent knows what's happening in the child's life and neither the child feels involved, and over a period of time that leads to a dissociation, and maybe the child can feel he's independent because he's done it all by himself, but the later bonding, when they grow up and we expect them to kind of remember and get back to parents, that time we cannot bring the bonding back. So I think from the bonding perspective, from the performance perspective, from looking at what can lead to a healthy growth of a child, the authoritative model, which is setting the environment around and setting a consistent schedule, a family culture, expectation for the child. For example, if everybody eats together, that is an expectation. When the child doesn't do it, all of them in the family have the same conversation of saying we all eat together, and the child experiences saying, okay, I'm involved here and this is what is expected out of me. So they end up being very structured, disciplined people. So from the perspective of seeing all of this, we suggest that you adopt, you reflect on saying what is your parenting style. So if you have two parents, the two spouses, and you have completely contradictory parenting styles, I think it's time that you sit down and have a discussion on saying what could be the parenting style we will adopt for our child. And when I'm talking about these 4 styles, it doesn't mean that you're going to be authoritative all the time or you're going to be permissive all the time. It's about knowing which is your dominant one. So if we ask your child, they will naturally tell us this is how my parents are, which means that irrespective of whatever you're using in different phases of the day or during the week or during the month, still there is one which is more dominant. So now that you know this information, I think it's important you sit down, have a conversation around understanding which is the current parenting style, who's got what parenting style, and which is the one that you would like to adapt. So if you're an authoritarian style where you're just expecting without supporting or without giving the right inputs and encouragement, then it's time that you blend in a little permissiveness or a little authoritative style. But if you're very, very permissive, it's important you build in a authoritative style. So I think it's important for us to do the chemistry, to do the plus and minuses, and ensure that we are giving our children a designed parenting approach that works for them, rather than a ignorant one saying, okay, that's all I can do and that's how I am. We've had a lot of parents say that that's the kind of parent I am. That's fine, completely fine, but that's the kind of output that we will get as well. And there's no point in cribbing about the output later. So I think we can take a lot of preventive action and start designing parenting for a beautiful future for our kids and ourselves.